Hi, this is Kevin Deal. Today we're going to talk about the Tannoy Platinum F6 loudspeaker. I just came back from the Tannoy factory in Scotland where I saw them assembling speakers using the same tooling that they used in the 1960s, using the same processes. And there was also a tour group there from Japan because, in Japan, in Korea, in China, the people that work and live there, they aspire to own a Tannoy because of the way that the products are made. I want you to think about something. You think about another speaker manufacturer and think about a speaker that they made 20 years ago. Nobody cares about it. Nobody wants it. But in the case of a Tannoy, you think about Westminsters, you think about Kensingtons, you think about a speaker that they made decades ago, and they are worth more money today than they were in the day that they were made. It is the only brand that's manufacturing today that has an intrinsic value and a following. A raw Tannoy 10-inch dual concentric driver made in the 1960s, just for a driver, can sell $4,000 or $5,000. Now, what other speaker can you say that about? You cannot. And that's because of the way that they're made. And so when they said they were coming out with the speaker, I talked to Graham Henry and I said, but it's not a dual concentric. He said, well, he goes, you might want to listen to it. And I go, you know what? I had to get straightened out by this guy. I found out that Tannoy's parent company has an innovation center in Manchester, England, that has 30 mechanical engineers. With that kind of engineering, they can throw all of it at designing a speaker that's at a reasonable price point that will kick the living shit out of products that cost twice as much. And they did that here, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it's not a three-way speaker. Making it a three-way would have been a mistake. It's a 2.5-way speaker. That means the bass driver and the mid-range driver are going to share some information together. And that's a great way to go because you don't end up with a tubby bass and you don't end up with a bastardized mid-range. The mid-range is amazing. It has body to it. That's the Achilles heel to so many loudspeakers. They have a tendency to have diffraction. They have a tendency to not create body. This one knocks it out of the ballpark. The other thing that they did is they created this tweeter. This tweeter is a silk dome, and silk domes are fine, polyester domes are fine, but oftentimes, if they're more reasonably priced drivers, they will have a tendency to have a top end that's kind of jagged. This one does not, and that's because they treated it with a material that helps reduce that resonance without affecting air and transparency. I was so shocked when I listened to the speaker. I mean, if I would have, anybody would say it's a $2,500 pair speaker. For $1,100, it is an absolute achievement. They're 87 dB efficient, so you can run them with a 25-watt tube amp or a 30-40 watt solid state amp. And because they are so good, they're going to make your amp sound better. Most people that buy a speaker that's $1,100 are not going to use a $5,000 power amp, right? Or you shouldn't be, because you shouldn't be spending your money that way. Put the money into the speakers. But if you can't afford to spend $5,000 on speakers, this is the way to go. So it's going to make a reasonably priced amp sound better. That is for sure. On the back, you've got a bass port. The cabinet is fully braced. It doesn't have any nasty resonances to it. It's got nice quality binding posts. It uses a sock to cover the top of the loudspeaker with a zipper on the back. But for me, I just think that the finish is so nice, I don't want to lose sight of it. I love looking at it. Comes in 3 different finishes, and you can see pictures of that on the website. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I had to get straightened out on this because I did not know that they could make something that is this good. And if you're a person that's trying to get something that's worth owning, that you can be proud of, but you only have $1,100 to spend, this is it. This is it, and it's from a company that you can be proud to own and say, I own a Tannoy. Go to our website to read more about it. Go to your local dealer. You can check them out there. I promise you, this is a speaker that's really going to please a lot of people. It's an absolute achievement. Thanks.